I wanted to talk, so I hit record, and I ended up talking about how I bought my house, cash, or houses in this case, life with hypothyroidism, what my symptoms off the top of my head are and how I deal with them, alopecia, PMDD, which is a more severe form of PMS. I talk about my doctors, rooms, my experiences there that still haunt me, honestly, until this day. There's something there that was very fundamentally triggering to me personally. I won't keep you. I'll let you go right away so you can get started. This is a long one. Thank you for being here. Please follow us on social media at Babbling Brook Podcast. We're on Facebook and on Instagram. My eBay stores are The Lovely Brook, My Brook, Tracker Brook, and The Brook, THE. And the podcast is also available, unedited version on Patreon if you'd like to support the show in any way. There's no pressure to join for a year or multiple months or whatever. If you want to just basically contribute once, that's fine too. And if you're not able to do so, I will accept just a 5-star rating wherever you listen to the podcast. Thank you so much. Please contact me. I want to hear from you. We can talk about whatever, but reach out to us. And my personal platform, social media are at Babalwa Brook. Enjoy, I guess. Coming to you live. It's your favorite Babalwa Brook. Hello and welcome, everybody. I need to double check the dates when I do these recordings because I'm starting to wonder, am I only doing them when I feel like shit, or do I always feel like shit? Today is April the 21st, 2023. I almost said 22. And the time is 4:52 in the afternoon. I have been awake now for, well, here's the story. Okay, let me wrap that thought up. I woke up at 4 a.m. today. Okay, but I have taken like a 20-30 minute nap. Then my phone just started like blowing up. Knock on wood. Hopefully nobody calls now, because I keep my phone, and this is something that I would like to suggest to you if you don't do that yet, to disable unknown calls or callers. That includes the ones that show up as private or unknown, and phone numbers that are not hidden but are not registered in your contact list. So like if I meet somebody and they're like, hey, can I have your number? Well, I never give them. I always say no, like whatever. But if for whatever reason somebody ends up with your number and they think that they're going to be like, surprise, not going to work. Because that call, basically you're screening your own calls. I say all this because I want to say, sorry. I'm tired. My throat hurts. And my period's coming up. I'm sorry. You don't have to listen to this, first of all. But I just need to talk to somebody. I don't have people that I can bug, I guess. I feel like, I'm getting really emotional. Hold on. It's just shitty that I feel this way after having a really nice and productive day. And the last thing that I needed to do today was to talk to, quote unquote, my doctor. Never talked to this guy before. But I've always dealt with a nurse practitioner who was incredible the first time I met her, and the second time left me feeling weird. You know that energy thing where it feels funny. It felt funny. To the point that I turned around. It was so unreal to me because she was so different from the person that she was the first time I met her. The first time I met her, we literally became like best friends. It was so great. And then this time it was like, you know, when you betrayed somebody and they're around you for the first time since they found out what you did, that was the worst thing they could have done to them. And then you get that energy. It felt like that. She couldn't wait to get out of that room. I mean, I didn't betray her. For what? I don't know this lady. And I thought, oh, I didn't even, whoa. And then she just like left. I didn't want her to hang out and be my bestie. But she didn't, she handed me a stack of papers and didn't even explain to me what the fuck she was giving me and got the fuck out of that room, like as if I farted. I was standing in the hallway. I just remember, I don't know why that moment is etched in my memory so much. I just turned around. I don't know, maybe I wanted to see that it was really real. It was really happening. And she was just walking away so fast. And I thought, wow, these people are going to get paid for this visit. And the visit lasted seconds. And whatever other concerns I may have had, if at all, I would have to do another appointment. I live 30 minutes drive from the doctor's rooms, and I work from home. So whenever I have to, it's not like I'm going to take an extended lunch break today and quickly go to the doctor's room. It's a whole production. Maybe I need to, first of all, I just want to say, I'm the one who feels shitty. I'm the one who's sensitive. This is all a me problem, and I get all of that. I'm responsible for how I feel, responsible for how I react to, no matter how shitty a person's behavior is or not, I am responsible for my reaction to that. And I get all of that. That's why I said what I said at the top. Am I only doing these recordings when I feel like shit, or do I feel like shit all the time? Which hopefully is the former. Because I would hate to know that I feel like shit all the time. That's sad. And like, it's not pathetic, but it's sad. But I'm working on it. I'm working on all of it. I would rather not have like friends that I'm going to pick up the phone and be like, oh my God, you know what just happened? And then like go over what happened, which is the same thing that I'm doing now. But I may never upload this. This could just be me talking to a thing and recording it and getting it out of my system, hopefully, and never for it to see the light of day. I'm somebody who likes to journal, so this is another form of journaling. My throat hurts. Let me go back. Did I finish all the thoughts? Because I tend to start a sentence, not finish it, have another thought. And I know that ultimately I get the message across because, I wouldn't be middle-aged with all the conversations that I've had all my life, talking like this all my life and without anybody having understood me. I know that it's understandable. Ultimately, you get the gist of what I'm saying, but I'm trying to be better at finishing, like wrapping up a thought and then wrapping that thought up as well. Because I have this thing of going over a conversation or whatever and be like, oh man, I didn't even finish that. So hopefully I have
One of the episodes that I did, unfortunately, I was venting again about the situation with the doctor. I had never talked to this doctor in my life before. I did read reviews because my town, if you're new here on this podcast, I live off grid in the middle of, it's not just in the middle of nowhere, it's really in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody here but myself. Just kidding. I do have um, neighbors and whatever, but like, it's not the type of hi neighbor or whatever. When we see each other, we'll say, but we never even see each other. Like, I'll see the car and be like, okay, my neighbor or neighbors or whoever is there. Because, we're living next to somebody long enough. I've been here for a year now. Do you tend to know the cars, all that so-and-so's car, that's blah, 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 blah. But we hardly ever make contact. But when we do, like if I ever bump into my neighbor and she's not busy going somewhere, then we'll sometimes even hang out and talk for like an hour about all kinds of things. We do get along very well. Thank the Lord for that. So I was saying, if you're new here, I do live in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know why I started saying that thought. But the people are nice, as they usually are in rural areas. And I'm very thankful for all of that. This is the most when I look at my life, especially here in America, having been here since 20, so I've been here for more than 10 years in America. Thank you, Americans, for having me. I love it here and I love everybody. Excuse me, I'm really tired. So I've been here for about 10 years. When I compare all the places that I've lived in, I own this house. So maybe the energy is also different because you own it. And I own it fair and square. I'm not paying any mortgages. But of course, you never not pay anybody anything. You pay for utilities. I just paid fat property tax bills and whatever. But thankfully, I do have my little bit of a job that affords me to be up to date with everything. I know I'm sidetracking now. I once hung out with a lady. She was selling me things to resell. My main job is to currently, hopefully I'm going to change it, sorry. I own an online store. It's The Lovely Brook. I have it on Facebook and on eBay, but I usually refer people to eBay because Facebook, I think they're still trial and erroring their situation. So, and you never know who's going to be listening to this, where they're going to be from. My eBay store is international. So I need to check. I sent something to Switzerland not too long ago. Before that to Switzerland, Canada, New Zealand in the last week or two. I need to double check if those finally made it there. Before that, it was Japan. It's kind of fascinating to see all of this. I've shipped something to Puerto Rico, blah, blah, blah. Isn't it amazing that you can live off grid and do the kind of job that I do and deal internationally? That's amazing, right? That is another thing that has manifested in my life because when I was a truck driver, which is what I did just before moving here, I was so over that job, living in a truck full time. I deserved to buy a house cash. Like, just like the contrast from that life of living in a truck that has cameras, that's owned, obviously not by you. I mean, I guess you could live in a truck that you own, but I was like, people would say to me, why are you buying a house? Just buy a truck. You still live there, you own it, and you're working. I was like, So I bought a house, and I live in it, and I work in it. So, hey, see? But like, it's here. Hopefully it's not gonna like move. Nobody's gonna back into it or whatever. None of this is impossible. So when I was doing that job, it got to a point, I was like, oh my God. And then I got out of that life, continued to do tracking, but I lived with, I rented a room, which was not how I had planned my life. I gave up my apartment, which I loved, one of my faves. Gave up my apartment, moved into the track with the intention of saving all my money. That's why I lived in the track. And then I would buy a house and go straight to the house after that. But life happened. They fucking fired my ass. They did. I have that story, I think, in my YouTube, and the longer version, the full version, is in my blog, Babala Brook, on both and everywhere else. Now, when I lived in that place, it promised to be great. And like most relationships of mine, which I think is more of a me problem. Because why are all my relationships ending like that, right? There is a way that it could be those people. Maybe I just exclusively attracted that type of energy into my life because it's a sign that I need to work on something within myself. But because I'm not doing that particular thing or haven't gotten to the place that I need to be yet, I continuously attract that energy in my life. So that's one possibility if I were to play devil's advocate. But it's probably me. Like, that's easier. It's easier to say that. I take full responsibility for the most part for the things that I do. But that doesn't mean I then turn around and expose myself, no pun intended, to certain situations in order for me to be reminded that there's work to be done. No, I don't need to be hurt. I'm good. Just cut out all those people and live here by myself. And nobody's going to hurt me. How are you going to hurt me? I'm not going to let you into the door. Your call's not going to come through because that's blocked. Like, you can't hurt me if you don't have access to me, can you? So that's my strategy. See? I'm not just a pretty face. Sometimes I think to myself, okay, so you live here by yourself in this cocoon. How in the hell are you planning to meet somebody, like, romantically and all that? And then I'm like, oh well. Oh well. So what we're gonna do instead is, because we're gonna play devil's advocate again, just because you're with somebody in a relationship doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be happier with that person than if you weren't with them. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? There's no guarantees. I could be more content than somebody who is in a relationship. I could be, because I don't want to compare myself with somebody else, I could be a better version of myself now. There is a possibility to be an even better version of myself, but that can happen with or without somebody. But it can also get worse without somebody. So, in as much as I would like to have somebody, my hope, it's like another drastic thing, just like living in a truck and then buying a house or two houses. I mean, I basically live in two houses, but that's neither here nor there. And it's nice. I'm very thankful. It's like, oh, okay, so because it's in the middle of nowhere or whatever, I don't want to downplay it. The bottom line is, I bought myself two houses and I live in both of them. And I don't need, this is not a floss, we're just talking. I don't need somebody else to live there, bring their energy that I have to now maneuver around. Because now you just started a relationship. And you basically, you live together. It's a duplex. So, right? You basically live together, you can hear them. So I'm like, oh my God, it's so much better to just be by myself now. I put a bed in there. Okay, let's be honest. I put a mattress. I put a comfy mattress there that was sitting here next to my bed for like ever. I put it there when I started having my energy back. I've told you about my hypothyroidism diagnosis and starting my medication. It's been 6 weeks now since I've been on medication. And definitely I'm noticing an improvement with regards to my energy. I can work out one day and take 1 to 2 days off. But it's better that and then work out again and take 1 to 2 days off and then work out again. But it's better than not working out at all. Count your blessings, kids. So I put that mattress there one of the days I had super energy. And when I have energy, I will do probably even too much. And it's hard for me to stop because I know I'm making up for the previous day when I stayed in bed all day. So maybe if I started pacing myself and stopped at like 4 or 5 and then just hung out in bed, maybe I'd be able to do more stuff the following day and be like a normal person who just like works until the evening instead of just working nonstop like a witch. It's much more funnier if I said it in Xhosa, like gqirha. That's a witch in Xhosa. That's my mother tongue. I put that bed there, that mattress there, and I covered it up. Then I went there for whatever reason. It's basically the same house. Not really, but it is. I'm there a lot for like work. So I go in there and I'm like, let's put a sheet over this. So cover it up with a sheet, clean sheet. I had gone there to put a curtain on the thing. So I put a curtain and a sheet on the mattress, and I put it on the floor because I had it leaning against the wall. So I put it on the floor. The floor is swept and whatever, and I covered it up. It's covered with the mattress cover, and I covered it up with a sheet. And then I was like, let's bring a pillow here. I'm always tired lately. It's getting better, like I said. I take a pillow, and I think because I live in this side of the house, or maybe because the sun sets, I don't know about the sun, but this house where I live tends to be hotter than the other one. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because it's lived in, just purely for being lived in, or what? So I go next door and I just lay down, and it's so much cooler there. And it was just, I was like, oh my God, this is great. I need to plug in I have a charger there. I work out there sometimes. I work out everywhere. I have like workout things everywhere because that's a whole story for another day. It feels better already just to have been talking, even though I haven't really talked about the thing that pissed me off. Just talking feels good. I do recommend this. They say everybody has a podcast, blah, 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 blah. You can start a podcast, but as somebody who has a blog and a YouTube channel, I have experienced recording things and putting them out there. That makes you vulnerable in a way if you put out personal things. Personally, I don't recommend. Your mileage may vary. Some people do lives. I'm not somebody who will do a live. Maybe it's that part of me that works in Hollywood. When you do a live, you're putting yourself in such a vulnerable position. I am not the person. Besides the fact that what if everybody is not available and nobody logs on? Even though I have like 5,000 friends on Facebook, if nobody goes on, I'll be like, oh, well, that sucked. My first live and nobody cares. But also, I feel like, now what? You can't unsay the thing that you said. You can't, you see? But if you record your thing first, edit it how you want, but don't edit it right away. This is my thought process. When you're no longer in that headspace, you listen to it and you start cringing, oh my God, because now I'm using period brain, period hormones, and all of that stuff, and being emotional because I'm frustrated with the situation with the doctor, and it was a long day, lack of sleep because I've been up since 4 a.m. I no longer get up that early. I mean, I would like to again, but it's no longer my life. I didn't really sleep because I remember almost every hour looking at the time. I even had a dream that somebody changed my clock and I was late and all that, whatever. So yeah, I took a nap next door and it was good. I had my phone with me, but I didn't have a charger. And it's when my phone started dying, which happens a lot, that I got up and I left. So now, like, if ever I'm in that side, I'm like, it's like inviting, and it's a comfy mattress that it's like new. Excuse me. I apologize. So I have groceries in the kitchen that I have to unpack. I woke up at 4 o'clock, and I wasn't supposed to eat anything or drink anything before going to an ultrasound for my neck. It's so crazy because I was so looking forward to someone. It was written head and neck ultrasound. I thought, okay, good, then I'm going to finally find out if I do have a brain or not. And the neck part, because I have this throat issue that my throat has been hurting since November, and it's already tired now. Partly, that's what I wanted to say in the beginning. It's sore, my neck now, partly because I've been interacting with people and talking, and partly because when you have a lump in when you want to cry, your throat hurts. Does that happen to everyone? It just hurts so much when you want to cry. Anyway. But now I don't want to cry anymore. I was upset in the beginning. I'm fine now. And I need to wrap this up because I feel like I'm rambling. So my throat really does hurt. And you know what? I'm going to take a pain thing. Who cares? The last few days, I've been having things that require pain stuff. And I try not to take medication if I don't have to. Even if I have to, I try not to take it. Because I was like, I don't know what they're going to put me through at the doctor. They might need to do whatever that's going to require. I don't want the medication that I'm taking to show up. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to be doing. I mean, I knew I was doing ultrasounds, but I'm pretty okay. So, yeah. I want to go out of town. I don't like to talk about things before I do them, but I plan on going out of town tomorrow for the weekend. And so I'm trying to preserve my energy, because when you have hypothyroidism, one of the main symptoms is fatigue. That thing will hit you like a ton of shit. You can feel so good and be so excited about life. I can't even imagine someone being super excited about life and looking forward to it and being in bed because they're fatigued. Like, I feel like I can't even see it in my mind's eye, because I will look at a stack of great things from my storage that I would like to list. I feel good about them. I'm like, man, these will sell. I have probably close to 100 pairs of shoes. They're good. I know, probably 100. I know that I don't know I don't know for a fact if they will sell, because sometimes I have like a pair of Nikes there and Vans. I have other shoes, but these particular 2 pairs have been sitting there for months. It's amazing to me that they haven't gone out. When I posted them, I thought they would go right away. And when you look at them on eBay, it shows views 0. So it's not, I can't say, I need to lower the price or whatever. Maybe you lower, well, actually I have probably more than once. I'm like, I already marked them cheaper than everyone else. Like, why is nobody buying this? Why is nobody seeing them also? And they promoted the listings. Whatever, man. That's one of the reasons. I mean, I don't know. I do get like bored. Sometimes I wonder, am I single and not in friendships and other things because I have a fear of commitment? I know I have other psychological situations that make me really comfortable by myself than not. I don't know. they say humans are social creatures. So it's probably not normal. I'm like on a scale of socio, I don't know, antisocial. Oh, I guess that's what it is. Thank God, not sociopathic. Because that's where I was headed. I don't even know where we were with this story. So one of the symptoms is fatigue. That thing will F you up. Okay. Right now I know that I'm tired because I woke up early, but I shouldn't be that tired because I woke up early, because I went to bed, like I had a 7-hour period where I meditated straight into sleep, but I didn't stay asleep. And I don't know if that has anything. Apparently, I don't know if it's insomnia or what as a symptom, but I don't want to put it there. The ones that I know about that have affected me are, what's the word for lack of motivation? Apathy. Is that the word? Lack of motivation is the worst. Sometimes I wonder, do we even need to have that set aside from fatigue? Because I feel like fatigue will make you not motivated. Or saying I would look at nice things, but like, oh, I need to list this. But I just feel so fatigued and exhausted that I need to go to sleep. I don't have that motivation to list it. I have the motivation because I'm like, I know that if I listed it, it'll sell. I feel good about it. But I can't even imagine myself. Sometimes I just look at my work area, because you got to take photos or whatever, so you need a whole area for that. I look at my work area and I'm like, man, I can't even imagine myself. And I just won't. And, excuse me, so it's April 20 something now. April 10th was my birthday. So it's been 10 days since I've been this age. And I was out of town for that. So thankful that whenever I thought about it, I was excited, I was motivated, I planned it. I planned it very close to the date, the reservation of my accommodation and everything. I planned those things right, in the nick of whatever, because I didn't want to be excited and make a booking and be too tired to care. So, yeah, that lack of motivation, if you suffer from that, call 1-800, just kidding. And another thing, hair loss, but I diagnosed myself with alopecia. I've had hair loss probably all of my life. So I don't know what else is causing that. It would be so nice to have like a doctor who cares about me. But apparently that's so that they can help me, right? And get to the bottom of my concerns that I've had and had been bringing up throughout my life. One of the reasons I don't trust people, I don't care to open up too much to them, to bring them close to me, because they tend to not care enough. Maybe I'm too demanding and I want them to care more than they have room for, which is fine too. Then stay all the way over there. But I'm just realizing that with time, and probably just PMS brain or PMDD, another self-diagnosis of mine. So hair loss, which I've been losing a lot throughout my life, and if you follow me on social at Babala Brook, I had dreadlocks for a long time, cut them off, started them again. I'm talking about 7-8 years, cut them off, 7-8 years, cut them off. Now, I am just rocking my natural hair, but there were times where I would cut that off too and just go completely bald. Because sometimes that thing that you're so holding on so desperately to, like, oh my God, because I've always been like, oh, it would be so nice to have really good long hair, because it's something that I never had, right? You can relate about something that you've always wanted, probably purely because you don't know what it's like to have it. A very good example is money. So I'll be like, oh, I just bought a clipper when I was tracking. I went to Walmart, bought a hair clipper, clipped my own fucking hair off. Ooh. I saw that picture coming up in my memories recently because it was recently an anniversary of when I was fired for one of the jobs. I did get another tracking job after that, but before that I was fired. So I was looking at that photo recently and I thought, wow, I think it was this morning, maybe even yesterday. I think it was this morning. It came up. Oh my God, I was so skinny, cheekbones and everything. I looked at that photo and I was like, oh my gosh, that's when I first moved into the place I lived in before moving to my house now. And that's when I was fired. And that's when I cut my hair. And I thought, that's interesting. Like hindsight. I thought that was interesting because those are all like big deals, right? They're all like major life changes. I was like, wow, maybe it is good that I cut my hair off at that time just to start fresh. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta be like, you know what, I'm holding on too much to this. Let me let go. Even with money, speaking of which, sometimes if I feel like, not a lot of money has been coming in, like it seems like money has been reluctant to come in, then I'll start doing things where, like, literally you give some of it away. Literally. And sometimes, I know this is going to be a tra-la-la-la thing, but sometimes I feel like it's like a feng shui type thing. Just moving that stagnant energy around money. Now money is moving. So it's going to find its way back to you because it's rotating now, right? So, okay, I could tell. I feel like I've been talking as long as I normally do by the time I feel like cutting it off. How do people do like 2-hour podcast? God, excuse me. I guess they don't have to. So I didn't talk to you about the doctor, and it got to a point where I intentionally decided not to vent about that doctor thing and just talk about other random catching up things because it's fine. Whatever, man. Just stay over there and be negative with you. Whatever. So my hair recently, maybe 2 weeks into taking medication, I don't know if there's a connection, but I just noticed, I take baths. There are certain rituals that I'm going to do, whether I'm this, that, or the other. I was going to say whether I'm living on the road tracking or not, but I realized no, I wasn't taking baths when I was tracking. But I was thinking about other morning routines and night routines that I do that are me, all about me, just taking care of myself. It's very important that you do that as well. Some people, once they get in relationships, they change certain things and they give up on certain things without even realizing. And then the main focus becomes the partner and the relationship. And when that thing is I want to say, quote unquote, taken away from them, they got nothing else left. And now you got all this weight that you put on because you stopped going to the gym and all these other things. You're out here cooking for a partner so that when he comes back from the gym, he can see that you're a wonderful spouse. And then he leaves you for somebody that he works out with because he met you at the gym too or something. You know what I mean? So important that you continue doing or even start doing certain things for your well-being, for your sanity. For me, one of those things is taking baths. When I moved in here, I'm thinking of putting on a shower curtain again. I took it out, threw it away. Well, you have to when you move into a place. But I never replaced it. I had no intention to. When I lived at my place in LA, I did the same thing. I had no intention of replacing it. And I didn't. I mean, you can get one for $1, but don't get that one. It'll stick to you. That's so gross. Unless you're into that. So I did think about that because summer is starting now. And when it's summer, you take more than one bath, especially live in the desert. You take several baths, you shower several times a day. You're just drenched all the time. No pun intended. So I was like, I wonder if I should get a shower curtain so that I can just in and out, just walk through a shower to get the sweat off of me. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that period. But we'll see how it goes this time. Fun fact, I looked at Joshua Tree, which is also in the desert here in California. by Palm Springs, not too far from Coachella, but maybe an hour drive from there. It's a national park. There's a national park there in that area. But I live by the Death Valley National Park area. So it's desert, excuse me, two deserts. I've been looking at their temperatures, comparing them to here, because people are like, oh my God, it's so hot there. Oh my God. And every time I've checked the temperatures, it's been hotter here by 10 or 15. I was going to say pounds, degrees, Celsius, Fahrenheit. What is that in Celsius? I don't know. But it's been hotter here. Take that to the bank and cash it. So 2 weeks or so into starting the medications, I noticed that I'll be standing in the tub and just drying myself with a towel, and there would just be hair on my chest and on the floor of the tub. The tub is white, obviously. It's not obvious, it could be black, but it's white and my hair is black. And there's so much hair. I'm like, wow. Last time I had that much hair falling off, I lived in Vegas. I thought I was going to be completely bald. I used to dye my hair often. I almost always dyed my hair. You gotta do something fun if your fucking hair is falling off. You need something that you enjoy about your hair. So I just dye my hair, whatever. So when I lived in Vegas, I was dyeing my hair. I was like, maybe it's the dye that I'm using. Maybe it's the desert heat. I didn't even know. But it didn't look bad. It just was falling off a lot. I guess I had enough to still not look crazy. So hair loss, it happened about 2 weeks ago, but since then, I haven't really been, it happened for about a week. Since then, I don't notice a lot. I don't comb my hair. We call it caferare, which is probably inappropriate. But I have like afro, like not the American one, that's curly and straight like Oprah, and you can do things with it. No, I have the one that you turn into dreads almost right away. That one from Africa. The ones where you don't even need to do an ancestry whatever. I'm just kidding around, man. It's better than being depressed and crying. So I noticed that after a week or so, it's just falling off normal. Because I started thinking, should I comb my hair? Is it because I don't comb? No, who cares? Then, so it's hair loss, fatigue, apathy. Hopefully that's the right word for lack of motivation. Depression is one of the side effects, which I feel like it comes naturally. Some of these things are so interlinked that you can see it coming. So depression is one of them. I've mentioned this several times in this podcast that 2 weeks out of a month, I have a super serious premenstrual syndrome, PMS, period, that includes feeling like shit and whatever and all those things. So now I don't know. And I heard reading so much about hypothyroidism. And I'm also currently reading a book called the Hashimoto Protocol. I'm not recommending this book. I'm just saying that I'm reading it, audio, so I'm listening to it. Not because I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, but because I was Hashimoto's. Not because I was diagnosed, but because it's part of the whole hypothyroidism thing, the symptoms or whatever, so why not? I'm doing my research. To be honest with you, I'd be happy if I didn't have to take this fucking medication. I take like 9 different vitamins on a daily basis. I had to get used to that, and I am now. Sometimes I be like, fuck it, and I'll go 3 months without taking one freaking vitamin, okay? Because sue me. Like, whatever, man. Who cares? As if all people back in the day were taking 10 vitamins per day. Give me a break. Like they were taking hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's and all this shit. Sometimes I'm just like, screw it. You want to put me on life support? No. Not on my watch. So, what else? So, yeah, sometimes I'm like, is this a side effect? Is it a symptom of hypothyroidism, this PMS, or do I suffer from PMDD independent of that? Or is there a connection? Just like my hair, is this the thyroid thing? Because even before I had it, I think I did. I don't think I had it all my life because I was able to lose weight. Oh, and weight gain, of course. But we won't dwell on that because I talked enough about it today. I just don't want to. But yeah, that too. Not that, because people on the internet hate it when other people have an excuse to gain weight. Okay, everybody, calm down. Just walk away from the laptop, okay? Put the cell phone down. It's not your problem. Even if somebody's totally making up the excuse and it's a legit excuse, totally made up, don't worry about it. Why are you so fucking pissed off about it? Relax. So, it doesn't make you gain weight and now you're gaining weight because all of a sudden there are all these extra calories that are turning themselves into fat, in my understanding. But first of all, you're sleeping 18 hours a day. Are you kidding me? You're not doing anything. And then maybe you're waking up and eating those few hours that you're awake. I don't know. You are depressed. So are you eating the healthiest things? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But you're not super motivated to go anywhere. So you're not out there hiking. You're not on a treadmill. You're not jumping rope. You're not doing any of the stuff. You're not motivated to do anything. You just want to die. So short of doing that, you're in bed reading about this freaking thing, and there's meanies on the internet talking about that's an excuse. Fuck you. Okay? I'm not saying empathize with anybody. Just fucking walk away. You don't have to reply to everything. Sometimes I'm so in my feelings and triggered about something I see in a reality TV show. I want to post a thing, and I know that that opinion will trigger some feedback on Twitter. But I'm like, yeah, but there's like a real person on the other side of this. What if they end up reading it and it's that one thing that really stings? I'm like, no. Then I'll delete it. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I've posted things, and one time the one celebrity saw it and she replied and even put a video to prove a point because I was so specific in the thing that I posted there that it must have hit a nerve. I wasn't proud of that. In the moment, I was like, I knew I was right. And then I thought, no. Because now that she's engaged, more people are seeing it. And I hate that it came from me. And people started seeing it again when the news, because I forgot about it. And then the new season came on, I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this. I deleted it. Because I was like, oh gosh, she needs to be reminded about this fucking thing. I mean, to be honest, it was, in case you're curious, I don't have kids of my own, but I do tend to kind of like, I'm very protective of children. It's one of the reasons I never wanted to have my own kids. I did not want to bring somebody to this earth and then fuck them up by not being the perfect parent. As you can tell, there's a trend here, folks. The expectations are very high. That's why nobody meets them. So this person just talking about, being a celebrity, this event, that event. And they had a meeting with their kid, and the kid was like, oh, and then this person was just like, oh, I'm pregnant now, so I'm going to have another baby with another baby daddy. Not the same baby daddy of the previous kid and the kid before that. Everybody has their own daddy. I don't care about that. That's not my problem. I don't know her life, like, whatever. So then she was like, okay, so when we have this baby, we're gonna put this kid, the older child who's probably 9, so young, in like his own basically house, in like a servant's quarters. That's what we call them in South Africa. In the pool house outside. Are you kidding me? You're gonna move a child outside because you're gonna keep their room. You're gonna give it to an infant, An infant. What does an infant know? Let them stay in the same room. But she was coming from a place of, I'm so rich, I can do that kind of stuff. My 9-year-old's going to have his own apartment. For me, that premise was so flawed. I was like, dang. And the baby was like, the 9-year-old was like, oh, you can put the baby in my room here. We can all stay here. Something to that effect. We don't, like, and then he was saying things like, I miss you, I don't see you, to the mom. Because the mom is busy talking about, my celebrity this and my other celebrity event and my other, just talking about being a celebrity and how important she is. Just chasing the importance and the fame out there. And the child was just like, I miss you. And now I don't have enough of you. You're going to fucking you're going to move me out. That really, it was disturbing. I was like, wow. So that's when I commented. And she was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm there for my kids. I'm a good mom. And I thought, well, a lie detector states it's a lie. Just kidding, but not really. It's still something I have feelings about, but also my feelings shouldn't be more important. It shouldn't be priority for me to vent that out than it is knowing that somebody could get hurt. That wasn't my feelings in the moment, but I deleted it. So I try more and more now because I don't want to be 50-year-old walking around commenting on reality TV trash. Like, why are you kidding me? Get a life. So, hair loss, weight gain, which to me feels like I'm swollen because I don't understand it. I haven't stopped dieting. I haven't stopped weighing every day. I haven't stopped writing everything down that I eat. And I do look back at this time last year or year before last or whatever. The last few years, I eat more or less the same thing, more or less the same calories. Everything is more or less the same. Except now, since October last year, so about 6 months almost, it's April, I've been working out minimum 3 times a week on top of watching what I eat. Why am I the heaviest I've been in a long time and continuing to get heavier? Doesn't make sense. So hopefully with time, I'm going to go. Today I spent the day at the doctor. I had an ultrasound of the neck, an ultrasound of the stomach because I'm looking for gallbladder situations. I had ultrasound of my boobies because we're doing the breast whatever, and annual whatever. I don't know if it's annual anymore. That's why. So I did those 3. 2 appointments were in the morning at 7, and the other one was at 1. So we had all those hours in between. I ran errands and tried to nap in the car. It's so freaking hot already outside. It's cooler inside, thank God, for now. And then after that, so those were the 3 appointments that I had, right? The 3 different ultrasounds. And then another appointment was a doctor who was supposed to call me. And then I came home after I finished all those errands because I want to go out of town. So I rushed home when I was finished. And I tried to take a nap. I haven't unpacked the groceries still because I got home around 2. Tried on clothes that I bought because that was exciting. This time I specifically was shopping for things for myself versus shopping for things to sell. I bought a couple to sell, as you always do, but because sometimes I will take things from the store and be like, I'll keep this. This time I intentionally was like, you know what, I've been looking at things on Facebook. So that impacted me to the point where I went shopping because I won't pay some of the prices that the things that are being listed for. Even at the store, I was like, what? No, I'm not paying that much. I returned a couple of things. Then I took a nap-ish, and then I got woken up with call after call after call, and then I talked to the doctor. We won't get into that negative energy, but I think I'm going to be referred to 2 other things, and I have to do another appointment to go back to the doctor to get the results. That's some low vibration shit that I don't want to talk about because now we're probably at an hour, and I need to get off this recliner even though it's comfortable. sleep so that I have enough energy to go out tomorrow. What other symptoms did I just want to mention all of them quickly. The other one, is cold hands and feet. For me, it's feet. My feet are cold a lot. Even though it's still hot, at night, sometimes I still have the heater on for my feet. Or I'll put on socks. Like today, I put on a nice outfit with sandals and I packed a pair of socks. It's serious once it gets to the point in the summer, in the California desert, and you're packing socks because, God forbid, you get cold, right? And just sensitivity to cold in general. It's one of them. Off the top of my head, those are them. Let me go. My throat hurts like hell. Sorry. I apologize for the low vibration, but I tried to keep it as general and positive and take out the most negative thing that I wanted to talk about. Appreciate you giving me a platform to be able to vent and to talk and to give my mental health, I guess, as they say, a break, like some health, and give my mentality a health, I guess, because I really just wanted to talk, and I kept scrolling. I thought, no, I don't want to bug this person, I don't want to bug that person. Last time this person that I talked, I had messaged them, so I don't want to be that person. There's a lot of thought that goes into all of this. I don't want to end on a negative note. I'm going to go to the kitchen now and put stuff in the fridge. Luckily, I defrosted my fridges and stuff yesterday, and they're empty. So let me go and come back and sleep. Hopefully I can sleep all night long. It's only 10 to 6 in the evening, so I'll try to go back to bed. Actually, it is, I'm going to try to be back in bed by 11. No, sorry, by 7, and hopefully, just rest. I just finished Love is Blind season 4, I think. This season with Micah. I just finished that season, and they talked about they're bringing back a show called The Ultimatum, which is a dating show as well, but they're going to do a queer version this time. So I was like, let me check out The Ultimatum, the one that they already had aired. So I'm watching that now. Been binging it. I think that I'm too old for it. But at the same time, I just kept going back after 2 or 3 episodes. One of those things that you hate watch it. And it got to a point where I'm invested now. So if you've seen it, let me know what you think. Okay. At Babala Brook everywhere. And my story is The Lovely Brook. And Babala Brook is my YouTube and blog. Bye. Thanks again.